Hello everyone and welcome to the first official Sun Drop Cup Series test in the NSDCA. It's taken 6 seasons, but we finally have our official top series, the SDCS. Brand new cars, some drivers that we've seen before, and even came to the Pocono test last week. We're ready to go for this 30-minute testing session. 28 drivers in this testing session. We'll go ahead and talk about them after they roll out a little bit, but it's exciting to see these guys taking to the track. Finally, the Cup Series, long awaited in the NSDCA, and fans are ready to see these guys run for 30 minutes here today. The NSDCA does not have a ticker set up yet, so we are returning back to the CRTS ticker for the SDCS test, at least this week. Hopefully next time we'll get one, but we'll see. As the field continues to roll on out, all of the cars looking ready to go racing, to go practicing, I should say. But yes, 30-minute testing session. One thing to note about these cars is you see some guys already rounding out of turn number 3 down the front straightaway as they fly on by for their opening lap. One thing to note, basically all of the cars are even. They are dead even in stats because of the lack of R&D development allowed before this test. These guys were allowed to practice, to look at the cars, to practice at any tracks they wanted to before this to get acclimated to the cars. But this is the first public test and the first chances they'll be able to do some R&D after this race. So you're going to see some of the best speedway guys coming out here, and probably some of those Pocono racers probably getting in some of the best times. But we got 28 drivers out on the track getting ready to go racing, go taking some laps here. So we will start off with Harmon Benning Peterson's number 06. Now, this week, this is not Harmon Benning Peterson's full-time driver. It's not even their driver anyway. Colton Yeo in this number 06 for this test is not scheduled for any HBP races. He is just running for Texas Star Racing this season in the number 48 MDCS car, but he is out here for this race because, as we said at the truck testing session, you have to run these 2-mile ovals in the Cup cars. Now, if you want to race on the 2-mile ovals, there's 2 testing sessions at the 2-mile ovals for these cars. So Colton Yeo getting his ability to drive on these 2-mile ovals in the season, he's getting that in check now for Harmon Benning Peterson with a deal through Texas Star Racing. Coming out onto the track is Gatlin Downey, and in a big move over the offseason, Rockstar Energy Racing hosted Downey in the number 19 in the Crown Royal Truck Series for 2 seasons. Contract went up, and he jumped ship. RER has not won a race in the NSDCA. Gatlin Downey Inc. has. Why not go and run for your own team? There he is in that number 35 today. He will be driving this car full-time this season for his own team, Gatlin Downey Inc. Just checking no one's in between. Is someone, it looks like, bounced off the wall. I saw some debris up there. But there's Alex Banyaka, one of the home state guys from PA. He's driving the Shade Burkhardt Racing part-time number 30 entry that will be run this season in the Cup Series. Shade Burkhardt Racing is going, I believe, 4 cars deep with this number 30. I'm not sure if it's part-time or full-time, but I know Benyako is not the only driver that will be in the number 30, but he will have some starts this season as he takes over once again in the number 83 in the Crown Royal Truck Series. This is also, I believe, his first testing session of the offseason since he had that injury back at Talladega. Nice to see him back in a car. Stephen Wallace Jr. gets the move over to Gatlin Downey Inc. as they have formed up an alliance with Cloud Foster Racing Operations during the offseason. And this 65 team now will be the second Gatlin Downey Inc. car in the Cup Series, partnered with Gatlin Downey further back. That is why this team moved from the Fords last season now to Dodges this season. Jose Perez staying in the number 35 in the Crown Royal Truck Series and Mountain Dew Custom Series. Coming on around, there's Anderson Reed. He's got the draft off of the fastest guy from last week in the Pocono truck test, Jay Jefferson. Maybe that's why he's now at the top of the charts, but Alex Banyako just topped him there as they went by. But Anderson Reed is bad fast, but only on these 2-mile tracks. He's driving this car for Reed Racing this season, and it's painted just like on Giotto. Yeah, why not? He's pretty much on Giotto, but they left him. So, Anderson Reed in this number 1, he is an on-auto driver, but he's driving his Cup car for a handful of races this season with Wawa backing a few races. Got other sponsors mixed in there as well, but he's second quick right now on the charts. He won in his debut at Pocono back in season number 3 of the Mountain Dew Custom Series, so obviously he would probably be pretty fast in these top-tier rides. He's right now second fastest, coming around for yet another lap, but right in front of him is the guy that was fastest in the Crown Royal Truck Series testing by over 0.3 of a second as Peter Onjak in the 44 puts himself to the top of the charts and Jefferson second. So those guys running very strong for Dodge as they take up 3 of the top 4 spots. But Jay in that number 48 truck is very strong. Now the equipment is not what's going to help him in the Cup Series. As long as he runs these 7 tests, though, that's 7 upgrades, 7 chances for upgrades that you can do in the offseason. So that's going to be big heading into Daytona, to Speed Weeks, and races beyond. But Jefferson, a very strong driver, owner of Texas Star Racing, out here in this number 48. Matthew Eves making a shocking move, leaving his Toyota teams that he's usually ran for, and now he's driving full-time in the Cup Series for Cloud Foster Racing Operations. This number 47 Dodge, really they're partnered with Gatlin Downey Inc., but Texas Star Racing on Giotto, they are partnered together. They are the leaders at Dodge right now. CFRO, GDI trying to maybe knock them down a peg, have some fast laps as Jay Jefferson goes 0.5 faster. Why is he so fast? Flies past Onjak and Eves. Holy cow, what a run Jay had down this front straightaway, and now he is up to 0.5. 0.5 faster than second fastest DJ Curtis. I think we're going to have to see if Jay has any performance-enhancing drugs in that 48 car, because he has just blasted on by in that number 48. So I might check that shortly, but as we were saying, Matthew Eves now over to Cloud Foster Racing Operations, and Peter Onjak in the 44 stays on Giotto, moves himself up to Cup with his 2 favorite drivers on Giotto, Tip Foster and last season's champion Carson Bowers. Of course, they always stick together when the series moves up. Now is Carson Bowers defending Crown Royal Truck Series champion. And now up in front, Sebastian Kukulon in this number 12. Jay's pulling away. That's got to be suspicious. I'm not sure if I copied the ratings in right. We're gonna red flag this real quick so I can pull up N ratings here, because I might restart the test session at that point. He's a little speedy. No. Wow. His car ratings are fine. He's fast as hell. Brady's down there to 103. All right, Jay, cheat again. See what happens. We'll just disallow his time. Anyway, Sebastian Kukulon for Rockstar Energy Racing. This car is not full-time. It's just going to be part-time for Rockstar Energy Racing. They have the 2 free full-time cars for being Truck Series drivers, as Peter's about to wreck them. But Kukulon in that number 12. In that number 12 car, he's just running this for part-time. He's running for Sauber Racing Team full-time in the Crown Royal Truck Series. Going to run his RER number 12 part-time. And as we said, Jay Jefferson putting the laps down. One thing to note about Jay with his track stats, his speedway is so high. It's about 10 spots, 10 points higher than the base, and it is the top stat. So Jay is probably going to dominate speedways out here, but a very fast time he sets down once again. We'll go ahead and continue on through the field. There's Larry Hagan, the number 21. He'll be driving for Texas Star Racing part-time in that number 21 entry this season. He's driving full-time for 2 different teams in the... Oh, no. Hagan is driving full-time in the 21. The 28 car that I believe is in the field, that is part-time. The 21 is full-time. Got me confused there because Spurley Tube's usually full-time in the 28. But the 21 of Larry Hagan is full-time here. He's also full-time in trucks, splitting between 2 teams. I believe Rockstar Energy Racing for 6 races in the number 19 truck, as well as Ford Performance Racing for the other 14. He put up at least a solid performance in the FPR equipment last time. Now he is out here right now, seated way in the back, 24th fastest only, on track for this number 21 team. They're just hoping to improve a little bit as they go on. And here are the 2 Morrises, no relation. Brandon Morris back in the number 55 after he was off for a season suspension, basically from the NSDCA. However, he has a chance to run full-time here this season in the Cup Series, and he took it with Butcher Gatorade Motorsports, and it's a pretty strong BGM lineup, probably one of the strongest they've had since Ryan Butcher left the team. Brandon Morris, of course, 0 wins, but has been a chase contender before, and Diego Yepes, of course, your Season 4 Crown Royal Truck Series champion, winningest driver in the NSDCA. Those two are on BGM, but Brandon in this number 55 for this season, and Nicky Morris going back into team ownership. He left Rockstar Energy Racing, partnership with Kukulon. Now he's driving for his own team, JRL Racing. In this number 7, will be a Dodge part-time this season, but he is running full-time for Reed Racing in the Mountain Dew Custom Series. Should be entertaining to see if Nicky can finally break through with that first win. 2 years at Rockstar Energy Racing probably held him back. Maybe this season will be able to be an improvement. Tib Foster in this 40, it's a pretty slow lap time for him so far. Of course, he's not the strongest driver on these ovals, but he is a strong road course racer. We'll see how he does test when we head out to the road course test later on in this offseason. But Tib Foster for Anj Auto, he had a very strong end to last season. Won at Iowa, his first ever oval win, and now up to 4 career wins in the NSDCA, your Season 3 Mountain Dew Custom Series champion. A great pickup for Anj Auto heading into this season. And of course, X-Side on the car. I believe it's a full 26 race schedule. A great job by Anj Auto, scoring 2 major sponsorship major sponsorships, full season sponsorships, as Menards is also on that 44 car. So great jobs for both of them, but Tib out here in the 40, they're going to have to go back to the drawing board in the offseason, speed up on these ovals. DJ Curtis for Monster Motorsports, as Diego Yepes has changed his name twice in the last 3 years. Curtis is back in the number 5, now into the Cup Series. But one thing that is interesting to point out, longtime sponsor Pennzoil from last season at least, they jumped ship after Diego Yepes and Pennzoil did not reach an agreement on the price for this number 5 car. So now Curtis, he was missing 12 races of sponsorship, which was what Pennzoil was going to pick up. So now this number 5 team, they're going to have to hope that they can get some sponsorship, but second fastest in practice, basically first because Jay's a cheater. Curtis right now very fast in that number 5, looking to pull off again a couple wins this season. Had one last season, 3 wins in the CRTS, looking for that first one this season in the SDCS. But Zachary DeLello is probably one of the fastest drivers heading into speed weeks after these tests. He's back in the number 57 Applebee's Ford for his team, and he is your defending Crown Royal 300 winner. Maybe that'll work out and he'll be able to win the Sundrop 500 when we go there as well, but a lot of drivers will be fighting for that. It's going to be nice to see if DeLello can go back up to the top after Zachary Racing just had a horrible end to last season, especially with DJ Gibson being injured at Talladega. Ryan Butcher up here in this 83 car. He's right now 14th quickest. Butcher moving up to the Cup is probably only more so for the veteran driver than it is for his performance. His performance at SBR really was lackluster last season. Benyako almost just missed the making the chase as well. Irving Allison made the chase. Brady Burkhart wasn't too good either, but him and Butcher were pretty much the bottom 2 at SBR last season. Even the 30 was much better than these two. Even the 30 was much better than Burkhart and Butcher, but this season now he's drafting off of his driver Diego Yepes. We'll see if this 83 car can get up to the front. This is Shade Eves, of course, favorite number in the NSDCA, looking to drive that thing home for Shade. Now Diego Yepes in the 77 finally will be back in competitive equipment for the first time since his championship season just over a year and a half ago. Diego Yepes in the 77 will be in the Butcher Gatorade Motorsports equipment, and as we said, it's in good equipment, but everyone's pretty much equal, so they're all starting on the same foot. We'll see how Butcher Gatorade Motorsports goes into researching what departments they research for this number 77 team. But Diego, bad fast on the speedways. He's always been strong in the NSDCA. Last season, his first year going winless, but he was driving for Shepherd Racing in very underfunded equipment. Did a great job last season at some races, almost got a win at Atlanta, but Diego coming back strong this season. There's Jay again being illegal on the racetrack, and now right here, that is Gatlin Downey once again. There's another driver, Alex Fletcher in the 02, running part-time for Smart Motorsports in this number 02 entry. Smart Motorsports actually has 2 SDCS cars they got from the NSDCA, as they were full-time truck team. They did miss the 1 race, but it was over the, I believe, 14 race threshold that you needed to have so you could get that second full-time entry. So this one will be part-time. Alex Fletcher will be driving it, at least for this test. We'll see who else will be in the car, but we'll be running part-time for that team. And there's the, I believe, the full-time entry in the 72. I don't think they're running for points, driver's points, but rather just running the full season. That is, I believe, Eric Monaco in the 72 truck. 72 car. He's driving the truck full-time for Smart Motorsports as he's looking to the inside of previous champion Carson Bowers. But the 72 of Eric Monaco, he's been bad fast since he's gotten into Smart Motorsports. He's really elevated the team. We'll see what he can do this season in the Truck Series, but also in the Cup as he runs this 72 car. And the driver coming in with the most momentum because he went out and won the title last season. Carson Bowers in the number 25 was able to hold on just a few points over Logan Cloud and Jay Jefferson in the Crown Royal Truck Series title battle. Now, Carson in this number 25, of course, he's going to be a threat. He only has one victory in the Crown Royal Truck Series, and that was last season at Richmond. He's gone pretty much 3 years with just one win, but he has a title to his name, so can you even blame him? 17 top 10s, I believe, last season. It was 17 or 18, some outrageous number. But Carson Bowers, bad fast as always, hoping to get Anj Auto into the chase once again this season, looking to go and try to take his third title in the NSDCA. Carson Bowers, the only repeat champion in the NSDCA. He won the Mountain Dew Custom Series title in season number 2. Eric Monaco trying to spin out Cody Goforth by diving in there, but Goforth for North Border Motorsports is driving the 27 truck full-time in the Crown Royal Truck Series. We'll be driving this car, I believe, for the max part-time schedule for this number 27, so that's going to be nice to see Cody getting some good equipment for once. Again, he's another Rockstar Energy driver who jumped ship last season, or after last season, so Cody's hoping that NBM will get some help from Monster Motorsports and that alliance, possibly get them up to the front of the field. Cody Goforth looking to do good things here at North Border Motorsports. Riley Spurleytube in the 28 truck, or 28 car. He's here at Pocono, driving full-time for TSR Racing, or TSR in the Crown Royal Truck Series, of course, in his Coors Light colors, but he will be driving this car part-time for Texas Star Racing. They got a big lineup coming out for TSR, Larry Hagan, Jay Jefferson, and I'm pretty sure there's 2 part-time cars. It might just be the one. SDCS field looking pretty thin, but hopefully will be a bit better than the inaugural CRTS field. That was like 20 cars. 10 were competitive, but Spurleytube in this 28 looking to get himself back into his old shape. Has not won a race since season 2 in the Mountain Dew Custom Series, but after that injury at Indy, he came back last season, was all right, did decent after he finally learned the ropes again. So hopefully Spurley in this season for TSR, for the CRTS and the SDCS, he could find some success. Is there anyone on pit road that I have missed talking about? Those guys are coming in. We're just going to take a quick helicopter look. There's Tip Foster. Reed and Morris are now going to try to fight each other coming off of pit road. We talked about Matthew Eves. There's Logan Cloud, the 91. Just missed out on the championship by 3 points last season. And he's now for Pedal to Metal Racing. Right now not doing so hot, only 15th fastest after last season, garnering 3 wins, one of the strongest trucks in the field, and just came up just short. Won at Kansas, so I think he might have had 4 wins. But won the race at Kansas, did everything he could, but Carson Bowers finished 19th in the points, just had just a big enough lead, was able to keep Logan from winning that title. But Cloud, a strong driver, coming into last season in the CRTS, 0 wins in any series outside of the RBSTS, and last season put on a clinic, 2 wins in the MDCS, 4 wins in the Crown Royal Truck Series, puts him at 6 all-time in the National Series competition. It's a great job for Logan Cloud and hoping to carry that momentum into Pedal to Metal Racing this season. Last season, his rival was Austin Murray in the regular season for the CRTS. Murray takes over that number 91 in the Truck Series. And there is GoDaddy man Jacob Edson returning to the track once again, and he's coming to SDCS. Now, he's come out of retirement about 6 times in the last year alone, and he came out once and DNQ'd in the Reed Racing number 47 last season in Mountain Dew Custom Series competition. But he's back. He said if we ever went to Cup, he wants to get in there. So now this 82 car for Shade Burkhart Racing will be driving as the 3rd full-time entry for SBR. Edson looking to put himself back into victory lane after I believe he won here before. Not too sure. It was a while ago when Edson was actually full-time and good. Contact up there. There's some sheet metal flying. It might have been Downey. We're just going to go ahead and take a quick replay of that because there was some sheet metal off there. And Butcher and Bowers make contact as Butcher's trying to get off a pit road. So Carson, a little bit of damage to that car. Butcher, a little bit of damage to that car, but minor. They can buff that out on pit road. Is there anyone else? There's Carter Friesen in the number 85 for Monster Motorsports, driving the Monster Energy 85 this season. As we said, Monster Motorsports actually swapping to Chevrolet for the SDCS. I don't know why they would leave Ford after everything Ford has done for them, but now Chevy looking to have a brand new top team with Monster Motorsports. DJ Curtis, Carter Friesen, the two drivers in those cars. There's Brady Burkhart in the 99, coming off of a horrible season after his season 4 Crown Royal Truck Series run was almost a championship. Season 5, winless, wreck-filled, outside of the top 20. Horrible year for him, looking to bounce back here with a smaller field in the SDCS and back into equal cars. SBR looking to get Brady back into victory lane. He's part team owner of that series, but Matthew Eves has pretty much taken it all. Tib Foster out there. There is Matty Porta, the Italian stallion, has not won in the CRTS at all. His only career win coming back 4 years ago at Dover, but he has been a threat for wins and threats for titles in this number 20 in the CRTS last season and the season before for JRI. But Matty Porta in this number 20 looking to put himself into victory lane, finally break one of the longest dry spells in the NSDCA. He's looking for that first win in over 4 years this season. Continuing on around, we're just looking at everyone else. Brady down pit road, Jefferson on pit road. There is the 83 Ryan Butcher, and I believe that is all 28 drivers that are at this test. No, we forgot one more. That is the 94 Dusty Neal that will be driving full-time for Cloud Foster Racing operations this season. Neal did not do very well in the truck last season, but Logan Bradley fired from CFRO over the offseason. Neal now gets the move up to the Cup Series. Hopefully, with a more even playing field, it might be good for them. CFRO has always been pretty much struggling on the upgrading side. Their MDCS program very strong. Their CRTS program outside of that Crown Royal 300 win a few years ago with Logan Bradley. It's pretty much not been so favorable for them, but looking for a new leaf here as Neal and Eves, two seasoned veterans, looking for their wins here this season for CFRO. So now that should be all 28 drivers. I see no one that I have not mentioned, so we can just go ahead talk about some of the speeds we're seeing here at 7 minutes left. So now that we've talked about all the drivers, let's go ahead, look through the ticker. Jay Jefferson out in front with a 54.8. I'm not sure. We're going to have to inspect that car at the end of this race, but he is very fast on the speedways. DJ Curtis is second quickest. Peter Ojak third. Anderson Reed, a great run for Reed Racing, getting them some much-needed TUP this weekend here at Pocono. He's fourth. Diego Yepes, see that speed. He's up to fifth. Spurley Tube, a great run for a part-time entry. He's in sixth. And Alex Benyako seventh. DeLello eighth. Stephen Wallace Jr., a surprising run there. And Alex Fletcher, so that's a surprising bottom two of the top 10. SWJ in that number 65. And Stephen Wallace Jr., again, he has not won since South Boston Season 4 in the MDCS, ran full-time for North Border Motorsports. If I can find SWJ, where is he? There he is. SWJ running for Gatlin Downey Inc. this season because of that CFR Alliance, but interesting to see 9th and 10th up there out of 28 cars. Great run for them. And in 11th, Eric Monaco, so Smart Motorsports coming out swinging here at the Speedways. Carson Bowers, your defending CRTS champion, is 12th. Matty Porta 13th. Kukulon 14th. 15th, Cody Goforth. You got 16th is Ryan Butcher. 17th, Logan Cloud. 18th is Carter Friesen. A horrible run for Monster Motorsports' second entry. Nicky Morris faster than a lot of drivers, up to 19th. Brandon Morris sits 20th. Look at Colton Yo in that HBP equipment running very fast. He's up in 21st. Brady Burkhart very slow in 22nd. Matthew Eves slow as well in 23rd. 24th is Larry Hagan. Not good to see a full-time entry do that. And Tib Foster 25th. He is slower on the ovals, but those road courses, he's going to have to hope that he can show some speed. In testing, we got a spin. It's Brandon Morris. Heavy damage to the back of the 55. the Butcher Gatorade Motorsports entry, and that is going to be the first actual, crash we've seen in testing. We saw Cordell Smith get turned sideways last week into turn 1, but it was minor damage. They were able to buff it out. That is heavy damage to the back of the 55, so it looks like they're going to have to repair that car. That's some major costs to BGM right there as he pulls it in, takes it directly to the garage area. But finishing off that group, we got Larry Hagan 24th, Foster 25th, Jacob Edson looking a bit rusty, 26th fastest, 27th fastest, Dusty Neal, and slowest in the grid right now is Gatlin Downey. So let's go ahead and take a quick look, see what happened to Brandon Morris here. So we had 5 minutes left in testing here. So let's go ahead, take a look at him real quick and this impact here. So looks like it could have been Anderson Reed in the number 1. He was trailing him down the back straightaway. You got Colton Yo up in front. But here is Morris going into the corner. He's in front of Reed, goes high, and Reed is very high. I think he tried to block him, and then Reed said no, turn that 55 into the wall. Debris goes flying. Larry Hagan just gets through it, but Morris backs it into the outside wall. Big spin, and that is some major damage to the 55 car. We'll go ahead on board with Anderson Reed through this incident, as really there's nothing else to talk about in testing. Everyone's ran their fastest lap so far. On board, the roof cam of Anderson Reed, just looking at the BGM number 55. Dives to the inside. Brandon tries to block a little late, make contact, and he just stays in it, hits the grass, spins the 55 into the outside wall. A little bit of damage to the number 1, but the 55 is pretty much totaled. Took that car behind the wall. His day will be done. Brought out the backup for the final few laps, but it looks like that 55 not going to be really fast enough to do much else. As we go on around, there is Dusty Neal in the 94. The rest of the field going on around. Porta pulling himself in. It's going to take a lot to get used to all these drivers again, get used to commentating. It's a bit rusty, but we're hoping that this season will be very good, and hopefully will run through, at least through season number 6 as the field comes on down. We're going to go ahead, just put a flyby as they run down the front straightaway, and we'll keep the ticker up, see if anyone improves their lap times here, as a couple guys are in the draft. You got the Smart Motorsports and Logan Cloud right there as the field comes around. One driver pulling it onto pit road. I believe that was Morris just going by right there. But Anderson Reed, Brandon Morris, the contact there. No word from the NSDCA. Of course, it's just testing, so as long as you don't try to kill someone else, you're fine. But as the field comes on down, cars coming out of the corner. Just 2 minutes left in practice, and it looks like Jay Jefferson in his nitrous boost that he got into turn number 1 will give him the fastest lap of 54.8. You got a 55.3 for DJ Curtis and the slowest lap time of 56.0. So these cars a bit closer together than the CRTS cars. Of course, the equipment is all equal. It will not be after this weekend because teams will be able to go back and do some research and development for the next test, as they are starting to figure out how these cars run and what would be best for them during this season. So as the field cycles around, we got 2 minutes left. We'll see. We'll just talk about, I don't know what we got to talk about. The SDCS finally here. These cars are looking nice. Hopefully, the NSDCA designed the cars so that the noses would be a bit more inconspicuous, or a bit more vanilla, so we could possibly have more manufacturers join in the future, and that is a big thing we want. Even though Mercedes has left the NSDCA after crashing their only SDCS test car at the opening Michigan test, the private Michigan test for each of the manufacturers over the off-season. That car was totaled, and Mercedes pretty much pulled out of the NSDCA. They have one team left, Mercedes Autosport. They'll be using some old Mercedes this season, but Mercedes has pretty much left the NSDCA, and they probably will not be back. So heartbreaking for that, to see a manufacturer leave after we saw Chevy leave at the end of last season, though they were replaced by GMC. We'll see what we can see later on as well. There's been talk of possible tire wars coming to the NSDCA in future seasons, as Goodyear has received a lot of complaints, mainly from one Anderson Reed, because he always blows his tires coming out of the final corner at tracks. But they have said that they are open to possible other tire manufacturers joining the NSDCA. We'll just have to wait and see how that'll go. But we'd have to make sure they pass all the safety regulations in that first. 30 seconds left in practice. Pretty much no one else is going to be making any fast laps, so everyone's just trying to get a feel for the cars in pack on their own, wherever they are as they run. But field coming on by, coming to the end of testing. Thank you guys for watching, though, as we had some action in here. The rest of the field cycling on around as they make their final testing laps. We thank you guys so much for watching the Sundrop Cup Series opening test at Pocono. We have 6 more in the offseason, including that Daytona test the week of Speed Weeks. Jay Jefferson tops the charts in that number 48. Zachary DeLello actually shoots up to second fastest there, so a great ending lap for DeLello. Curtis, Onjak, Reed, Yepes, Spurley-Tube, Morris, Benyako, and Stephen Wallace Jr. That will round out your top 10 for testing. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next time, hopefully for another CRTS test and another SDCS test. Where they are at, I do not remember, but we'll see you guys there. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you guys next time on the NSDCA. Did I get more damage? Yes, I know I'm still alive, but did I get more damage? Why did I pull in and disappear? Did I get crashed again? You're joking. You're joking me. You're joking. You're joking me. Alright, so we cut back from our goodbye to say Brandon Morris is very upset in the number 55, so he just goes down there. Cloud basically, like, we do the same thing and we both spin, so now that's the second car destroyed for BGM. This is already starting off great, and Logan Cloud also gets damage for pedal to metal racing. Not like Carter's going to even notice anyway, but Morris, heavy damage to that 55. That is a backup car, so both of their testing cars are gone. And Logan Cloud, some damage to the number 91. That'll be buffed out, hopefully, over to the next testing session. But now, Cloud and Morris both damaged at the end of this test. That will officially mark the end of this testing session. And again, we thank you guys so much for tuning in to the NSDCA Sundrop Cup Series opening test at Pocono. And after 2 crashes with Brandon, he's going to have to get a little bit of a talking to. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you guys next time on the NSDCA.